everyone, and welcome to Binky Files. Happy Monday, everyone. I hope you all had a great weekend. So, over the weekend, a YouTuber named 857 Tucson located footage that he had taken early on in the Nancy Guthrie investigation. He was actually at Nancy's home on Monday, February 2nd. In the footage, you could see a white car just sitting in the driveway. It's not law enforcement or forensics. And thanks to another YouTuber, JLR Investigates, we can clearly see that it's Nancy's son, Cameron's car, because he is seen exiting the vehicle. There's a photo of him, I believe he's at Annie's home. And when I look closely in the car, I think I could see Annie in the car. So I looked closely at both images, and I do believe it's the same car. So Cameron's at Nancy's on February 2nd. That's less than 48 hours after the crime had occurred. So I thought that was interesting. The picture that I was talking about where Cameron and Annie are together, so to speak, out of the car, in and out of the car, that picture was dated February 4th. So the car at Nancy's on day 2, February 2nd, is very unusual because in a standard missing person case, particularly one that appears to be an abduction, the home should be secured. Standard expectations in law enforcement crime scene security include no family access, no vehicles on site, and a crime scene tape completely around the perimeter. But what is going on here? This scene is open, accessible, unsecured. So I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison, standard crime scene protocol versus what we see here at Nancy's home on day 2, February 2nd. So standard law enforcement protocol we know is to secure the scene, document every entry point, preserve every footprint, fiber, fingerprint, and hair as evidence. But what we see at Nancy's is a family vehicle in the driveway on February 2nd. We know Nancy was taken from her home February 1st. This suggests that the family had access before full forensic processing was completed. And the scene appears just like an ordinary driveway rather than an active investigation scene. So, also in standard law enforcement protocol, law enforcement controls the narrative, not the family. But what did we see here with Nancy Guthrie's case? Sheriff Chris Nano stepped up to the podium on February 2nd, looked down at his phone, and he said, I don't do well with a script, as he continued to read what has been described as family talking points that were sent to him on his phone. In the first 48 hours of a missing persons case, this is not just unusual, it's unprecedented. The pattern that emerges is as follows. When we place this side by side, the early family access, the car in the driveway, the sheriff reading family provided talking points, the result won't be a solved case, but just a pattern of decisions that don't match standard procedure and a level of access to law enforcement that most families never receive, never. So my question, and a lot of people are questioning, do the Guthrie siblings have more privileges than the rest of us? If so, is it because of Savannah's fame, or is there something more? The question is not just raised because anyone explicitly said so, but because the optics are doing the talking. An increasingly weary public is demanding answers and accountability. I know I am. Meanwhile, another story is happening in parallel to all of this. Lest we forget, tomorrow's April 21st, which is the deadline for Sheriff Nanos. As you may know, the Pima County Board of Supervisors gave Nanos a deadline of April 21st to explain the discrepancies in his El Paso employment records he certified under oath. A sheriff facing questions about transparency, all while leading an investigation where transparency is non-existent. So what do we know? We know an 84-year-old grandmother is still missing. We have a crime scene that was treated like anything but. The family was at the home on February 2nd, day 2. A sheriff is reading a script for family talking points. There's a deadline of discrepancies and allegations of misconduct that needs to be explained. These are presented not as theories or accusations, because on this channel, if something looks off, we say it looks off. Anyway, I want to give a special shout out to 857 Tucson, the interview room, and JLR Investigates for the photos and thought-provoking coverage as always on this case. If you see anything or you have any information regarding the suspect or suspects or anything that looks unusual, someone you may know is not acting right, please call 1-800-CALL-FBI. Thanks for watching.